to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
I'm very good. How
Good.
are you? I'm
Quite
excited.
well.
I'm excited. It's going to be an exciting day for us. I'm excited for the open of the Freak Film Fest,
Yes.
as we're on the guest list, if you will, for the Russian 5 documentary. And I'm very excited. Excuse me.
Should be cool.
Excited to see that. Yeah, it's going to be great. Great. We're going to the VIP stuff beforehand and the Q&A after.
Would expect nothing else, Mike.
Of course. I mean, that's just how we roll. I don't even think we were invited last year. I don't think we were able to get in last year to
Hell no.
anything. But yeah, this year should
It's
be
actually
different.
not true. You guys did go see a movie last year. Remember? You saw something at the Novi.
Yeah, the Egyptian John Stewart guy. Remember
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was cool. That was a good movie.
that? It was.
Just you and I went to that. But yeah, we wanted to get into some of the early stuff, but denied. But not this year. This year we're for real. Speaking of movies, documentaries, did you guys do your homework?
Yeah.
Did we watch Andre the Giant
I
last
did.
night? The documentary on HBO. God, how good was that?
I am struck by the power of the documentary because I could have given two shits about Andre the Giant
right?
going into this. And you
I
come
know.
out going, God, what a good guy,
He's
man.
just a good boy. He's a good big boy.
I miss him.
What happened? Why did he have to
Gone
go?
too soon.
He's gone way too soon.
You know?
Yeah,
You
I
go
know.
into these, it really does show you the power of just hearing one side of the story.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and having the filmmaker just feed it to you.
Oh,
You know, they had plenty of people talk, and by all accounts, the dude was a generally really good guy.
yeah. Well, it turned into a Hulk Hogan documentary.
It did, for a
towards
little
the
bit.
end, which was cool. I'd never seen like that kind of detail about WrestleMania 3. What was that, 1987 or something?
March 29th, righty? I
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
think we handled that in this day in history the other day.
Yeah. Very, very good. I mean, some parts of it were sad. You felt bad. It's like, God, can humans go 2 minutes without sucking, not being assholes? You know, and Hulk Hogan's talking about, you know, getting off the plane and walking behind him, you know, being a fair distance behind him and hearing people talking and pointing.
Just
and
talking shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just
Look at
like,
that
what-
weirdo.
like, who does that? I've never once like saw someone who obviously is freakish in nature
Right.
and
could it
felt,
be any clearer? The guy has a medical issue
Yeah.
that's making him this way. You know?
Yes.
But yet it's point and laugh and, haha, what an idiot.
I can't remember a single time in my life when I've felt the need to do that to someone. Like, oh, retarded person.
Except on this show, right?
Well, on the show, yeah, that's different. You know, there's a lot more people listening. You can really convey that to a wider audience. But, God, some of those images really brought it home. Him holding that beer can.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Just enveloping this 12-ounce can.
His move to put his hand over someone's face.
He would do that a lot. Interviewers and stuff.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, "Brr."
Oh, just huge. But, yeah, what was your guys' favorite part?
I mean, the description of him farting was good.
Yeah.
It was strong.
Oh.
I mean, would they have like 4 or 5 people comment on, the flatulence? He was really, really big on flatulence, and he would go
lift
ahead
that
and
left
lift
leg.
that left leg, and it would rumble out of him for
30 seconds,
Yeah.
they said. 30 seconds.
like a train coming down a track, man.
The pilots, like in the plane, would just
Yeah.
be like, oh, my fuck, get him out of here. They'd be just horrified at the smell, the sound. Oh,
That and the ability to drink. I think it was Ric Flair who said, for sure an exaggeration, 106 beers he'd sit down and
Yeah,
drink. Bullshit. But fact is, the dude had organs that were bigger than normal human size.
Yeah.
So he probably was consuming a ton. A lot of people were saying, oh, yeah, he'd just drink wine by the cases.
yeah, case of wine in a sitting.
Whereas most guys would have a couple beers, few beers, maybe a 6-pack after the match. He would have definitely a full 24.
Yeah.
He just could
You
consume
imagine?
it, man.
Oh, yeah, it was weird. Like that life of 300 days on the road, traveling the globe. You know, you can only imagine. Like the world is not built for a 7'4", 500-pound guy. It's just not very accommodating. Beds, cars. Here's a picture of him in a plane, and it's like
Especially back then.
Yeah, transatlantic flights and stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's just not ready for him.
No, and Hogan talking about, these 16-hour flights, and it's just like, there he is sitting there, and when they're talking about, there's not a plane in the world that has a bathroom. And those bathrooms are hard for me to get into. Like, those are just wee little bathrooms in an airplane. And the thought of him on a 14 or 16-hour transatlantic flight.
Yeah.
And so they'd have to like rig up a curtain so you could piss or shit in a bucket. Oh.
And then they just dump it down the regular toilet.
Yeah. Oh, it's just
gross.
crazy.
I was struck by like, what would he be today? Like in the internet/Instagram age.
Yeah.
He could have really been a different kind of character. He was huge as he was.
Yeah.
In
I don't
terms
know.
of pop culture, but do you think he could have been even more dynamic?
He would have gotten more exposure. It's weird. I was going to ask you what you remember of Andre the Giant. Do you remember him a lot, like growing up as kids? Like, I remember him, but I don't remember him wrestling a lot. Like, he was more
Tromping around, just the bad guy, the heel. He'd come in and they're, oh, boo. I don't remember him being a good guy, that's for sure.
which he was for 95% of his career, it sounds like. But he was in that early 1970s wrestling circuit where they had 50 different circuits all over
Territories
the
everywhere.
country. Before Vince McMahon took over his old man's business and made this big, countrywide, nationwide.
WWF.
Yeah. So I don't remember him. You ask where he'd be today. He was never someone that was going to be like flying off the top ropes and flipping and doing all the really super athletic, crazy shit they do now. So I don't know what he would have been like. I mean, he's a freak of nature to look at. Obviously, I mean, he's going to be a draw.
Right.
But
But when they talk about back then, though, without the internet, see, the thing is now we have internet, so we would be like, okay, yeah, I know you guys don't watch anymore, and the Big Show was not quite like Andre the Giant, but they've had these guys come in here and there, and that's the thing. They're just
You're
a big guy.
desensitized to it.
Right. Whereas in like this, they talk about like how there was rumors, and you just kind of hear that like, oh, is this real? And how everyone said like they could just make up things about him, and it's pre-internet like that, people just believe it. Like, he has two
people
hearts.
making up,
He
making up shit that he has several rows of teeth like a shark.
Yeah.
Just dumb shit.
Yeah.
But and then he'd step into the arena in that location. Everybody, holy shit, it's for real. The guy's enormous.
look at him. And his early wrestling name, Jean Ferry.
It's like a lumberjack.
Well, that actually,
it's funny though, because they're like in Chicago, I think it was. They're like, what's his name? What do we promote it as? They're like Jean Ferry, and he's like, I'm not calling him John Ferry.
Yeah.
right,
forget
right,
it.
in
Like,
Chicago.
like, what's his real name? Like Andre. It's like, all right, Andre the Giant it is, and that's kind of where that was born. But
This doesn't have as much to do with him, but on the wrestling side, I was shocked how early storylines were such a big deal. Like, I don't know, like, as early from his early thing, like them going up to the video and him chopping the tree and the guy interviewing him and kind of doing you still
that
had
was
to
early
have.
70s, right?
Yeah, for sure.
he was young.
But, like,
yeah.
you still, like, it's never been just about, because everyone knows it's choreographed, or I know they didn't as much back then.
Whoa, what? What?
Still
Yeah, what are you
real to
talking
me,
about?
damn it. But no, but like him going up and doing an interview still.
We've shown
having
that
him
video
be
to
like,
Jay, right?
Yeah, I can look it up.
Still real to me, damn it.
I'm sure we have.
don't
But
know.
just like having
It's a must see.
having to still do like the interview and have him be like that he just found this guy chopping in the woods.
And then what would that air on? Like little local access in your neighborhood or wherever it was. Wherever it was.
Weird shit. The other thing that hit me about WrestleMania, though, WrestleMania 3, was like how Hulk claimed that he was unsure of the finish
Dude.
right until the very end.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, you think of these things, as E just disclosed, these things are choreographed.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But you think of these things as, they map them out, especially for such an enormous event. This was the biggest wrestling event ever to that point.
93,000.
Yeah. And going into that, Hulk didn't know. I mean, he sort of had an assurance from Andre just in the form of, don't worry, boss. Don't worry, boss. He kept telling him.
And Vince wouldn't say anything like, he's wondering, how does this end? And they don't have anything scripted. And so Hogan just like jots down on yellow legal pad 2 pages of here's how it starts. And, he's like, I don't know if he's going to do this.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
what
had
he's
been
going to
given
do.
to Andre, but he didn't know if he was going to follow it, and then he didn't have an ending.
Yeah,
And
there
so
was no
he
ending.
didn't know he was supposed to slam him until Andre said slam,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Fuck, really?"
Yeah, and so I got the impression he didn't know if he was going to win even.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
who's supposed to win this thing, me or him? And they talk about how unselfish Andre was. That that really was the passing of the torch from kind of those 70s, early 80s wrestling to the mega WWF.
Well, at that
it turned
point,
into.
Andre could barely bend over and shit. They
Yeah.
were talking about the back and neck problems he had at that point, and
Yeah.
Hulk even accommodated him during the thing to like try to stand up straighter so Andre wouldn't have to bend and choke
Yeah.
and shit. And like, man, the guy was just a mess by his very early 40s. Just a mess. His body
Yeah.
was just breaking down.
And he knew it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they could have done stuff medically. Were you surprised,
Dude, the first time he really sees a doctor and they diagnose the guy is when he has the broken ankle. He's well into his 30s.
Yeah, I mean he's on the circuit, big time. He's the biggest name in wrestling. First time he sees a doctor.
It's like he grows up in this little place in France, decides, you know what, I'm getting huge. I'm going to take advantage of this body I have. I'm going to start wrestling. And then he just took off. And he never consulted a doctor or figured out why this is.
Yeah, yeah.
Until he had a broken ankle. And they're like, yeah, you have giganticism or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. Was that?
Acromegalia or whatever.
Yeah, which is basically gigantism. But when they said that he didn't start that spurt until he was like 15, I was surprised at that. I don't know why. I would think
I
that
know
was
nothing
something.
of
Well,
giganticism.
What I know of it, I would think that would start like right when you're born. You would just be like that huge baby. You see that giant
Yeah.
baby, and then it's like 2 years old, but it's bigger than sixth graders. But it was like, for whatever reason, at 15, all of a sudden, he just started growing enormous. And I love towards the end, too, and his brother shows the chair that his mom made for him. I'm like, that looks like the most uncomfortable chair ever. I'm sorry, Mom, but this massive, like, wooden chair that he could sit on.
Yeah.
Oh, seeing him stuffed into those tiny cars in Europe.
Just always uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you guys, you said like, the pointing at some places and stuff, but. And I know that he could have gone to a doctor earlier. Who knows if he would have gone earlier? What
I'm
could
not
have done.
saying they could have
Oh, no,
cured
no.
him. I'm just
Oh,
saying
no.
it's remarkable. The guy has this serious issue, and he
Yeah.
never sees a doctor.
Oh no,
about
I
it.
wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say like it was one of those situations. I think he probably just did the best he could with it. Like he wasn't going to be able to just freaking be some worker,
Oh, I know. It's genius, man. The guy, absolutely.
Well, he turned down all medical help because they were like, we can halt this where it is now. I mean, I don't know what good it would have done. He was already 7'4", 500
Yeah,
pounds.
when he said that,
but
by the way, I didn't know what
but-
that really meant. Like we could help. It just helped.
it sounds like they could have just made his life better. It would have stopped
Okay.
whatever it was, and maybe he'd live. But he's like, no, this is who I am. I don't want to alter it. And how sad, seeing he dies alone in a hotel in Paris, and they're like, I thought that was weird too, where it's like. The guys come to pick him up at 9 in the morning or whatever. Like he's always ready to go, and they get there at 9, and no one. They're ringing up the room, nothing. So they send someone up there at like 11, knocking on the door. No answer. Must be sleeping still. And then at 3:30, finally they go up there again and knock on the door, and nothing. They have to break the door down, and that's when they find a
Are
dead.
you suggesting they
dead
should have
giant.
broken the door down at 11?
I'm suggesting that if you can't get a hold of someone like that, and they're hours late for where they're supposed to be.
2 hours, Mike? You want the door broken down?
Well, I would, first off, I would think the hotel would have a key, a master of some sorts. I would hope they wouldn't have to break the fucking door down every time someone dies. But that's beside the point. I just think it's weird that you wouldn't have more of a concern for something like that. If they're supposed to be somewhere, I don't know. And it's a celebrity. But maybe that doesn't sound
That
weird to
didn't
you.
strike me as odd. A 2-hour delay. No.
No, but it wasn't a 2-hour delay. They said at 3:30.
I know. That's when they broke in the door.
Yeah.
You're asking why they didn't. This
I
is
would have done it at
beside the point.
9:15.
I think that's kind of odd. But okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great documentary. You can watch it on HBO Go or any of their streaming services now. But was there anything else in there you wanted to mention, E? Did you?
I mean, it was really good. I guess obviously I didn't know about anything really by him other than the Slam. The Slam is all I know. I didn't start watching wrestling until like 10 years ago. But it really is interesting to see a lot of that stuff back in the day, and just with some of the. It was cool that they had a lot of the Ric Flairs and the Hogans. I know you joke about that, but those are people that were, part
I
of the
didn't joke
situation.
about that. I think that's-
Mike kind of said it turned into the Hulk Hogan documentary.
Oh, no, it wasn't a shot.
I think that was
it
the
just,
biggest-
I thought it was awesome. I'd never
They
heard
had
that much detail
a
about
ton of
that.
people that they interviewed for this, which is good to hear
Yeah.
from, just Joe Schmo wrestling historian guy
Yeah.
giving his view to actual wrestlers, to
Gene was
promoters,
awesome, and
etc.
I thought he gave a
Oh,
lot
Mean-
of really good.
Mean Gene
Yeah.
Okerlund.
Gene Okerlund, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I
dude
thought it was
growing up.
great.
Lastly, I love that the fact that there were certain people he hated, like that were cocky.
Macho Man,
Macho Man, Randy
Iron
Savage.
Sheik, and Big John Studd.
Oh, and it's like,
He punished them.
dude, that John Studd when he's like runs out of the ring and he goes by Vince McMahon, he's like, that guy's crazy. He's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm out of here. That guy's gonna kill me.
Well,
And he's just beating the shit out of him. No oil, no oil. Is all they would scream at Macho Man Randy Savage. Would grease his body up.
Well, like Hulk said, dude, it was one of those things where if he did, especially in his heyday, if he didn't want you to win, you weren't gonna win.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It just wasn't gonna happen. So
The detail too when Hogan's like, he just, he's got Randy Savage and he's literally choking the life out of him with the ropes, and he's like, he picks that mitt up and he's just like, wham, and they got video of it. He smashes his face, and it's like he's really gonna fucking beat the shit out of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does your money work as hard as you do?
No.
You will spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you'll be able to retire on your terms? How could you know if you don't have a plan? Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
I don't want to go to war with Syria.
You mean Russia?
Russia and Syria. Ugh. Are we really going to fucking start another war? I guess they're saying there's already a war there. You're trying to end it. But our president took to Twitter late last night or this morning, which is always great to announce, when you're going to kick someone's ass. Do it on Twitter. That's just fantastic.
the funny thing is, I thought that was his big thing against Obama or some of the other people is that when we do these wars, that we shouldn't be
Telegraph 'em.
right. We shouldn't be telling people every move we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really, but he's responding because everybody's going, are you going to do something about this gas attack or not? So
Yeah.
everybody knows you're in this tight time frame.
Yeah.
Lee. It's not like you're telling the world
I
when
guess.
you're going to attack ISIS. But he tweeted, as you mentioned, and Russia responded, oh, yeah, well, if you send your missiles, we will shoot them down, and we will also attack the whatever generated those missiles.
Yeah.
Which that's frightening.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to be like, well, defend our ally, Syria, and we'll shoot down your missiles so it doesn't harm them. The notion that they would then go after our destroyers,
Yeah.
that's like World War III.
Yeah. Scary. So they vowed through Twitter as well, Russia, to shoot down any rockets fired at his regime, Assad's. Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. This is Trump now. Get ready, Russia, because they will be coming nice and new and smart. Our bombs. You shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it. Our relationship with Russia is worse now than it's ever been, and that includes the Cold War. There's no reason for this. Russia needs us to help with their economy, something that would be very easy to do, and we need all nations to work together. Stop the arms race. And then he went on to say something like, much of the bad blood with Russia is caused by the fake and corrupt Russia investigation, headed by the all-Democrat loyalists or people that work for Obama. There is no collusion.
Look at Trump
so they
playing
go crazy.
politics, huh?
I know, right? His threats came hours after the Moscow's ambassador to Lebanon said any U.S. missiles fired at Syria would be shot down by Russia, and the launch sites targeted. Oof.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not
the key
good.
phrase.
Yep. Yeah, and then their foreign ministry said smart missiles should fly towards terrorists, not legal government. Foreign ministry also claimed U.S. missiles would destroy all evidence of a suspected chemical attack. Or is that the original idea? To use smart missiles to sweep traces of provocation under the rug so inspectors would have nothing to look at. So, I don't know, man. This doesn't sound good, and that's terrifying. I didn't even pick up on that, Jay, until you said it. About them going after destroyers, and ugh. Boy, oh boy. Not pretty. And then also we had, while that's going on, which is always fun, we've got coming up North Korea. That's in May.
I think in May, yeah.
And then we've got that robot on the stand again for a second day here.
The Zuck.
The Zuck, Mark Zuckerberg. Holy shit, dude. I didn't know what to tweet. I just said, sorry, but this dude's creepy as hell.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
It was, dude, he was honestly, and I kept going, who does he look like? And then people were saying Dana from Star Trek, and I was like, yeah. Data?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, Data from Star Trek. That's kind of, dude, I don't know what it was with those eyes. He had soulless shark eyes.
Yeah, he's a creep, man.
It's fucking weird, and that hair is weird.
Socially so weird. You know, it's what's his name? Richard Hendricks from Silicon Valley is basically modeled after. You know, just the really awkward inability to relate to people in a normal way.
Yeah.
That's the Zuck, man.
It's just crazy.
But that's how a lot of those genius dudes are, right? They're socially retarded, but
yeah. So this all goes back to the, data. I still don't fully understand a lot of this because it seems like if you put it out on social media.
That's the whole thing. This is like, in large part, to me, like this big straw man thing that's happening right now. Like, really, you didn't know, honestly?
Yeah.
Is the country really shocked that your data was being mined by these companies? That's what they do, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're filling in shit on Facebook. You're getting a free product.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you think was happening with that? Honestly, I'm asking that, like, seriously. Like,
no, I know.
Are there really people out there who don't know that?
I felt like I knew it from day one. I'm not just saying that.
Right?
I really did. I always felt like,
well, selling my soul here, but I get to use this product.
Right.
And none of us liked it. We didn't like the idea of, not having control over your information or it being shared. I guess that's the real problem is, it being stolen by another group and used and sold and whatever. But, it's like, dude, you put that out there on the internet, you have to know that that's there forever. I mean, that's the game with the internet, is that shit's there basically forever. You don't scrub that. So, people are concerned about their kids who don't fully understand, like, what it means to post something at 13 that's still going to be there when you're 40 and going for a new job. You know what I mean? Like, that's standard now. When you go for a job, people are going to look at your social media. They just are. And so I don't know what the whole...
I think everybody just gets to act outraged, right? Oh, well, this is unbelievable. And
I know, right? Whiter than now. What are they thinking?
And these senators can sit up there and they can spew their bullshit, and so that their constituents go, wow, they're protecting me. Come on.
Yeah.
Who didn't understand that this shit was going on?
Did you ever stop to wonder why, when you're looking for new soccer cleats, why all of a sudden the advertisement changes on your... Yeah,
here I am with a Prana ad on my side.
Your fabulous pants, right?
Guess what, man? I tweeted the other day about my Prana pants.
Yeah.
So at Prana, and here I go with Prana ads on the side.
I bought...
I would expect nothing else.
Before we had McCarty, when he came in studio, I wanted his book. I hadn't read his book. And so I went and Amazon or whatever and found a couple copies and bought it. I'm forever now getting ads on, no matter where I go, I'm getting ads to re-buy McCarty's book or other hockey players' books. It's like it knows, oh, this is something he found interest in, so let's see if he'd be interested in Chelios's book or what. And so that happens all the time. Cars, especially. If you're looking for cars, one Google search, one Bing search, and it's like, boom, how do you think they do that?
Right. How do you not immediately understand what's happening? Immediately.
They know before you finish clicking.
God, this computer is just a genius.
Yeah.
It's reading my mind.
Among the other topics discussed yesterday was their handling of extreme content. Zuckerberg says the company has already developed intelligent software tools to root out terrorist propaganda and will continue to develop that for hate speech, which isn't really a term. Hate speech isn't really a thing. And that scares me a lot, too, that they're
it's a
trying
lot of gray
to...
area. I mean...
Yeah, but it's all subjective. It's all subjective. Like, one thing that... You could,
of course it is.
You say goddamn in front of someone, and you're going to offend a lot of people. You say hell in front of someone, you'll offend a lot of people. But it's like, since you can't have one overruling judge on something like that, you just hands off all of it. And when I see these reports of millennials, 51% of them think that there should be hate speech should be illegal or, not allowed. I'm just like, holy shit. This is an attack on the First Amendment like I've never seen before. we're failing these people by not letting them fully understand what that means. And them developing AI now that Zuckerberg yesterday claimed they were 5 to 10 years away from, he felt, where they'll have algorithms that will be able to pick up subtleties and decide if this speech is too hurtful or hateful.
Whoa, what's
like-
that? Right, like you said, wow, what's that going to be? What speech is going to be considered
I
hurtful
wonder
or-
which way that will lean.
Right, right.
Gee, I wonder.
Will it lean towards the conservative or the liberal? I wonder.
They hope to have 20,000 employees working to review security and content issues by the end of 2018. Hate speech, I'm optimistic that over a 5 to 10 year period, we'll have tools that can get into some of the nuances, the linguistic nuances of different types of content to be more accurate in flagging things for our systems. We're just not there yet. Some problems lend themselves more easily to AI solutions than others. Hate speech is one of the hardest because determining if something is hate speech is very linguistically nuanced. You need to understand what is a slur and whether something is hateful, not just in English, but a majority of people on Facebook use it in languages that are different across the world. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I loved, was it Lindsey Graham? Did you see Lindsey
I saw
Graham?
Lindsey.
Lindsey Graham. So what is the alternative? If I don't want to use Facebook, he's like, oh,
There's
too many,
plenty. There's
too many to mention.
so many apps that people use for social media. Isn't it true that this is a monopoly?
No, God, no, it's not a monopoly. Well, who's your biggest competition? Too many to mention. No. I want to be clear about this. If I buy a Ford and I don't like it because it doesn't drive very good, I can go get a Chevy. Who do I go to if I don't like Facebook?
It's a monopoly.
And I thought Senator Ted Cruz, the dead one himself, I thought he was great too, because I was hoping that someone would ask about that, because it's very frustrating, and it's talked about in conservative circles, about what gets censored, and when he was talking about the dozens of religious, Catholic Facebook pages that have been shut down. Or the most recent one is that what is it, Diamonds and Silk?
Yeah.
The two black women. This just doesn't fit the agenda. They're two black women. You can see them on Fox News from time to time, but they're super Trump fans, and they talk really fast. They go on tour now.
From what I've seen, one of them talks really fast, and the other one just goes,
I think Diamond is the talker.
That's right.
And honestly, if you listen to them, they're not saying anything you haven't heard on 1,000 other places, but they're black females,
Yeah.
so they get a lot of respect. And
There they are.
I don't know if you want to hear this or not. It's just them talking about being censored on YouTube, I guess.
oh, they were censored on YouTube as well.
President Trump's followers are these angry white supremacists. And what do you say? They're making like what happened in Charlottesville was a Trump rally. Go ahead.
Listen, President Trump followers consist of
That's Diamond, I believe.
previous
don't
Democrats, people that used to be Democrats like us, and we switched our party to Republicans.
right.
Black
That's
people,
right.
white people, Asian people, Hispanic people,
Americans.
So Americans. Do not tie.
She's like the
our
hype woman
president
of
She
her.
is.
to the Republican Party.
Exactly.
to
She's
all
Ed
of these
McMahon.
hate groups.
That's right.
Because
Yes,
a lot of
sir.
these
She's
hate
Flava
groups,
Flav.
Especially the KKK was started by the Democrats. So do not tie this to the Republican Party,
That's right.
to the GOP,
That's right.
or the President of the United
Hell yeah.
States.
That's
Well,
right.
David
It's the same
Duke-
script and different math.
Yeah, David.
Yeah. Anyway, they've got like 1.2 million followers on Facebook, and they noticed months ago that their shit wasn't getting out to people. That like people that would follow their group or their page and would set up notifications when a new thing posted.
Yeah.
Kind of like our show, all of a sudden wasn't hitting a fraction of what it was. And so they're reaching out to Facebook going, why is our shit not reaching the people it would? And it took them months to finally come back and say, oh, our Facebook team has reviewed your content and we've decided that it is dangerous to the community or something like that. And so that's why they've been shut down. It's like, look, I've seen enough of Diamond and Silk. They're basically just Trump supporters. Dangerous to the, what does that even mean? Dangerous to the community? What community? What community are we talking about? The world?
The right is so fucked. These platforms are
yeah.
owned by the left. They're run by the left. And
Yeah.
it's so remarkable in terms of culture and controlling the culture that the right will be buried by this shit.
Yeah, well, Data even admitted it. He was like, look, I get it. We're in Silicon Valley, which is lefter than left, and it's a concern of mine. I hope he means that when he says it. I kind of doubt that, but he's like, it is a concern of mine. It's not fair to pick one side over the other. And Cruz is just like, so can you name any Planned Parenthood? Has any site of theirs ever been shut down? Or and he rattled off all these things, and Zuckerberg's just stuck going, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because the answer's fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah, wasn't
is the
Facebook
answer.
the one that had that big wall we were supposed to write on, like, because we were having stressful times with Black Lives Matter and stuff, and like anything that was not like anything that wasn't just leaning progressive was just erased or
Really?
something?
I
Or
don't know.
what were we talking about, Mike? I
Maybe.
swear you talked about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
I'm not sure. So anyway, he's doing his talk again. He's apologized. I love that chart they put up. Him like, oh yeah, we really dropped the ball on this one, and we're gonna do better in the future. In 2009, 2011,
Oh, really?
2015, 16, and they're like tired of these hollow apologies where nothing gets done. You gotta, there's some sort of regulation and blah blah blah.
Wasn't
or
there
whatever.
one senator who goes, "Your user policy sucks"?
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, and he pinpointed it. It's there to cover their ass. It's not to inform the users in
Yes.
any way.
Yeah.
It's all legalese, and everybody just scrolls through it and goes, "Okay."
Yeah.
At the bottom, and it's all there just covering their ass.
And they know exactly what they're
Sure.
doing. And I thought it was funny too. And he goes, "Can you change it to make it an opt-in instead of an opt-out feature, where it's something that you have to expressly go
Yes,
in
I
and
want
say,
my information to be given.
yes, instead of, oh yeah, it's down there on the bottom, somewhere you can find it in the hidden text. You could click on that. It's all right
The
there."
answer to that is that user is of no use to us, so we don't want them using our platform if they're not going to opt in. That's
Yeah.
the fact.
Yeah.
They're a data mining company.
Totally.
That's it.
That's all it is.
Ford Truck Month. It's continuing to roll on with blazing deals at Zott Ford and Holly. Lease a new 18 loaded 4-wheel drive F-150 Super Crew as low as $144 a month. Yep, lease the #1 selling truck in America, the Ford F-150, at just $144 a month. Plus, Zott Ford has not one, not two, but 3 Ford Raptors in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Hurry, these sexy bastards won't last long. Surf their explosive deals and their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Mitzi Shore.
Yeah,
Passed
mother
away this
of
morning.
Paulie. No way.
Yeah. Runner of the world famous comedy store in Los Angeles. I'm sure there will be many documentaries made about Mitzi Shore in the coming years. But they sent out a message. She was 87. I guess this wasn't terribly unexpected. I was reading that a lot of the younger comics that have taken the stage recently there have ended their sets with, make sure you pray for Mitzi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, 87 years old. It is with great sadness and heavy hearts we report the passing of Mitzi Shore. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw your thumb. I did. Mitzi was an extraordinary businesswoman and decades ahead of her time, cultivated and celebrated the artistry of stand-up comedy. She was also a loving mother, not only to her 4 children, but to the myriad of comedians who adored her. She leaves behind an indelible mark and legacy, helped change the face of comedy.
You call it, dude. That is a perfect documentary subject right there.
Isn't that? Yeah.
Because everybody's gone through that.
And
Comedy
they've got
store.
shitloads of film of it.
Yeah.
Because we've
Shitloads
seen.
of stories about her, how she handled specific people.
It's so funny when you think about the stories that we have heard of. Oh yeah, the kids were babysat by Sam Kinison.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Jim Carrey took them to t-ball practice when they
Yeah.
were 5. I mean, there's so many great stories. But she's the mom, as you mentioned, of Paulie Shore. I guess that's the most famous child.
The Weasel.
The Weasel. God, he wants to get back into movies so bad, and it kills him that he's stuck forever in that 1980s MTV. The
Yeah.
Weasel.
What was what was his big one? Son-in-Law?
Son-in-law.
If you
I
remember,
love those movies. In the Army now, wasn't that his?
I think so. If you
Like, he
remember,
was the star. I mean, he was the lead guy. I'm
Dude,
like,
he was one
4 or
notch
5.
above Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, yeah.
That was bad shit.
Yeah. I did watch Son-in-Law. I don't know if you remember, I referenced that over Christmas. I actually watched the whole movie.
Does it hold up?
What's her name's in that? Tiffany Amber Thiessen, right? Isn't she the love interest? Hot
It was
as
all
shit,
right.
dude.
There was, I don't know. You know what's funny? I actually don't know if it was all right. I don't know if it was funny or if it was just funny to see old things like not having cell phones. It's always funny to me when you watch those movies from the 90s now and they don't have the cell phone and just those things that are different is more interesting to me than whether it's funny or not.
Yeah. What was the one with there was another movie where there was like a caveman buried in the yard.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Encino Man,
Yes.
Encino Man, yeah.
and then
with,
Biodome, right?
Biodome, yep.
Freaking Biodome, you're right.
In the army now.
Yep.
Where he's a smart ass who goes to,
Sure.
whatever. There were a few others too, but he was a big star then. Huge.
You mentioned Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Sweet Pie, the tiny girl.
Tiny girl.
I was watching a show now, Alex and Katie, and Tiffany Amber Thiessen, now as Tiffany Thiessen, is the mom on the show.
Really?
So it's just weird.
How does she look?
She looks good.
She got shorter hair, longer hair. What's she doing?
I think it's mid-length, but
Yeah.
but it's just weird to go. Kelly Kapowski is now the
Yeah.
mom on a show, the mom on a sitcom. It's just
Isn't that
bizarre.
weird? What channel is this? Can I find
It's a
this?
Netflix.
Okay, I'm gonna need to
Check that
check
out.
that out. Yeah, big fan of hers. The story is pretty fascinating with Mitzi too because she took over the club in 1974 as part of a divorce settlement.
Wow.
That's what she got in the settlement was this club with her husband, comedian Sammy Shore. He founded the business with a comedy writer partner of his, Rudy DeLuca. 2 years later, she took out a loan on the building, and then she came up with the Comedy Store name after this Rudy DeLuca guy talked her out of calling it the Sammy Shore Room, which I wonder whose idea that was,
Right.
to call it the Sammy Shore Room. It proved to be good timing for the club, they say, because Johnny Carson had just moved from New York to Burbank, and so young comedians were flocking to L.A. to try to get one of those, incredible 6-minute
Yeah.
sets on the Tonight Show. And so she's got this club, and it's right down the road from where he is, and so all these people went there, and they're just trying to get the eyes of the talent bookers from the Tonight Show.
And there had to be talent bookers in there all the time.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Right down the street.
So some of the comedians who hone their acts there, you've got Pryor, Gary Shandling, Jeff Altman, Jimmy Walker, Louis Anderson, Barry Levinson, Bob Saget, Billy Crystal, Gallagher, Freddie Prinz, Sam Kinison, Jim Carrey, Chris Rock, Howie Mandel, Dice, Chelsea Handler, Mark Maron, Joe Rogan, Whitney Cummings, Carlos Mencia. I mean,
Everybody.
yeah, everybody. Shortly after he started killing it on the stage there, Robin Williams, that's how he landed Mork and Mindy. Mitzi was a maternal influence, Dave Letterman said. She had this place where we could all come and be silly, make mistakes, and have fun and go home with a waitress. I left a job for what I thought would be nothing and then found this life and friends and home and creative order. Without Mitzi, I don't know what I would have done. Letterman babysat her kids and took them to Little League games. Jim Carrey served as a doorman there at one point. The Comedy Store was popular but not profitable, and this is where Mitzi really came into prominence. A lot of people credit our guy here, Mark Ridley, with the opener, middle, headliner, like that having the triple
structure.
bill, that structure is credited to him, which is just commonplace now in clubs. Well, back in the early days of the Comedy Store, like they would just have Rodney Dangerfield, I got no respect, go up there, or Red Fox, and do an hour, and then someone else would come and do an hour, and so her husband goes to perform for weeks in Vegas, and DeLuca starts writing for the Carol Burnett show, so they're not there in the club as much, and so Mitzi's like, yeah, having these guys do an hour every night, fuck this, 15 minutes each, and all of a sudden it opened the door to have tons of comedians.
Yeah.
The place is packed, starts making a ton of money. She starts doing like potted flower stuff in the bathrooms and kind of gave it a woman's touch, rearranged the tables, and turned this place into the place to be. So in they said in the divorce settlement, Sammy surrendered control of the Comedy Store in return for $600 a month reduction in alimony. He's like, yeah, give me $600 a month and you can have the store. So comics, they said, would line the sidewalks for hours outside the curb looking to audition for Mitzi and Mitzi had to watch every comedian and then okay them to go on stage. And so Louis C.K., who at this point is a comedian for 20 years, right? And he goes there and he's like, I've got to audition for Mitzi Shore.
Right.
He goes up on stage. He's like, hey there, starts going into his first joke. He gets about 4 words in, and the light kicks on, like, get off the stage. And he's like, that can't be right. So he keeps going, and she's like, off the stage. She's just waving, off the stage. And so he goes home and gets a call from his manager and is like, yeah, Mitzi hated you, thought you sucked, and doesn't want you around.
That's weird.
So, she thought he was terrible. And then there was that famous strike, too. Remember that? Stories about that?
Yes.
Like 1979, all the comics. Because Mitzi was under the idea that, look, we're giving you a platform.
She was a cocksucker in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she could be tough. And so they didn't pay them, or paid them almost nothing. It was like, yeah, you're getting exposure, man. You're getting on The Tonight Show. You're getting sitcoms and TV shows. This is the platform. So if you don't like that, too bad. And so the comics all went on strike, and she was like, fuck them, whatever. And there was one comic who went next door to the restaurant, went up on the roof and jumped off it and died, and left a note. My name is Steve Lubetkin. I used to work at the Comedy Store. How about that?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Have that on your conscience.
Not a huge fan of Steve Lubetkin. Who knows what he would have done? I mean, he could have been.
Breakout star.
I mean, he might have been the next Seinfeld. Who knows? But anyway, rest in peace, Mitzi. One of the good ones, I suppose, for comedy over the years, for sure.
Everybody, please use our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon, and Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click on them, shop away. It doesn't cost more. The key is, however, that you click through our links in order to help us out. Also, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com.
Yes, please.
For all your betting-related needs, use TDC code for the very best discount.
The first of 5 women, there are 5 women who are going to give testimony in the latest Cosby trial. I think they're up to 63 accusers. So the judges handpicked 5 and said you can hear their testimony. And so the first one gave her testimony yesterday, talking about how she took 1 sip of a glass of wine and out. Yep, Heidi Thomas. She woke up in bed to find Cosby trying to force it into her mouth. In your mouth it goes. She described the image of the actor forcing him into her mouth as the most graphic of the snapshots of memory that she retains from.
Trying to feed it in there?
Yeah.
A passed out chick's mouth.
Yeah. He says, she says that she was lured to his ranch. I guess he had some ranch, out in the distance in Nevada. And so, of course, he's going to mentor her. I mean, that was his game. He was going to mentor you smoking hot 20-year-old. And instead, he drugged and assaulted her. So she says, his head was at the head of the bed. My head was at the foot of the bed. I heard this voice. He would call himself Mr. C, or your friend. He's like, your friend's going to die. And so she says, she remembers hearing, your friend is going to come again, as he's trying to feed it in her mouth. I remember thinking, how did I get here? This isn't what I'm here for. And I guess Cosby spoke to both of her parents and was like, yep. She's like, I don't know what was said. Basically, I was going to be heading out, have my flight paid for, my hotel room paid for by my agency. They would take care of everything, and then I would receive his training, get this great training from the Cos. Arriving in Nevada, she's picked up at the airport, and it's like, oh yeah, she's going to be taken to her hotel. Nope, because the Cos, he's followed by paparazzi everywhere. So he's an athlete, and so he likes to go running. And so we'll just take you over to the ranch. And she's like, okay. So she arrives there, and she's like, I had no reason to believe this. I ring the doorbell. Door opens, and there's Bill. He's got his sweatpants on, friendly as can be. And then he tells her to change into something more comfortable, and then join me in the kitchen for what she assumed would be start of her acting lessons.
What do?
She recalled doing a monologue that didn't impress him, and this is the one that he's like, you're playing a drunk, and so have you ever been drunk? And she's like, no. He's like, well, here's a glass of wine or something, and next thing you know, she wakes up and
feeding it in.
Yeah, just trying to stuff it in the mouth.
That's creative.
That's what she said. Bed. He's forcing himself into her mouth. Yeah, your friend gonna come again. So Janice Dickinson is another one of the girls that's going to be testifying.
Yeah, I forgot she was involved.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of hers. I'm sure she was assaulted by him. She woke up after going to his house and having some unknown pill. She woke up and she wasn't wearing her pajamas, which is weird. I remember before I passed out that I'd been sexually assaulted by this man. I remember waking up, my pajamas off. There was semen between her legs.
He needs to be better trained.
She was in a lot of pain. As for what she would say to Cosby if she saw him now, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. How dare you take advantage of me? And I hope you rot. Can't blame her for that.
No.
Then there's Chilan Lasha. She was invited to the Hilton in Las Vegas where he's performing. Again, he's going to help her with her career. And she gets there. He gives her a double shot of amaretto and a blue pill because she said she had a cold.
That's really
So
astounding.
she just assumed it was an antihistamine. It wasn't an antihistamine, just for the record. And he's like, change into the Hilton bathrobe. Dah. And she does. And he gives her another shot of amaretto, which would help her with her cold. She laid down. He laid down next to her and began pinching her left nipple.
Bag up.
And humping my leg while grunting.
Yeah.
God, dude, I would not want humping my leg and grunting.
Oh, Lord! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Lord! Oh, Jesus!
I couldn't move or say anything. I felt something warm on my legs. Do you think that was wet warm or?
Moist.
Yeah.
Moist warmth.
Then I blacked out. 13 to 16 hours later, I woke up hearing Mr. Cosby clapping his hands. Daddy says, wake up! Da!
If
Yeah.
you want to pin it on something, pin it on that.
And then $1,500 was given to her to go buy herself something nice. And the last girl that's going to testify is Heidi Thomas. She's got the exact story as the first girl. And she remembers waking up and he was forcing himself into her mouth.
Now I got you.
And so he got on top of her and said, I'm your friend. Your friend is going to come again. Bah! That's what he said to her. So, whew. Boy, that sounds bad, doesn't
Daunting.
it? Yeah. Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, she's in Detroit, right?
She is. Yeah, this is a makeup gig.
Hey, after the movie tonight, let's go see her.
You wanna head over there to the Truth Detroit Gentlemen's Club on 8 Mile?
No, but let's have E do it.
E, you want to go over there? See Stormy?
I was gonna go the first time, but I was gonna go when I.
Yeah, back when there was a mystique around what she might say about Trump. Now it's
Yeah.
like, no, he just,
Gross.
had a
She
one-night
felt gross.
stand with Trump. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, it's in a classy one at least, freaking right on 8 Mile. You know, that's obviously one of the nicer locations you want to be on a Wednesday night.
Don't shit on 8 Mile, E.
I am shitting on 8 Miles.
She had strep throat before, and so now she's coming back. Good for her. It's obviously this is part of her Make America Horny Again tour.
I think
Boy,
we're
she's-
horny. It sounds like we're plenty horny. I don't think we're having an issue with horniness in America.
How bad would that suck to have a career as a porn star,
know.
now being aging porn star, and just hanging on to whatever thread
Just
of
trying not to
the president you
leave
can.
anything on the table,
Yeah.
as you're going down. Like,
Just scrape up whatever filthy semen-stained coins you can, chucked onto the stage. I'm going to go on the Make America Horny Again tour. Stormy, I love it. That's a brilliant idea. Let's do that. So
As
yeah.
good as it's clever, too. You know what I mean? It's a real clever wordplay.
Well, it's very similar to what Trump's Make America Great Again.
oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys
That is-
caught that.
Oh.
but-
That is clever.
Yeah. Next stop, Detroit. See you there. So the club confirmed, said, if you want to come, gross, make reservations. So it's expecting a big crowd out there to see
You're
old
kidding.
Stormy. Yeah. Sister Jean.
Yeah, from Loyola, Chicago, right?
Yes, exactly. She is still alive. I believe she's 98. What is her role again? She
was
does
a
the
chaplain or
prayers for
something?
the...
Team chaplain, if
the
that's
school.
the right term for a female nun. I don't know, but
You're right, yes. Chaplain for the Loyola Chicago men's basketball team. Absolutely became a superstar during the tournament as they made some Cinderella run until they met a wall of Michigan in the Final Four. But yeah, she and several members of the Ramblers, including the coach and some other ones, got to go to the Cubs. I guess they had to reschedule their first home game of the season because of weather, and so that was for yesterday. And so they wheeled her out there, and she got to throw out the first pitch.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, she didn't.
Yeah. See, they gave her the Cubs jacket and then Sister Jean jersey, the 18 there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they.
She really attempted to throw a ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
That's when you win the championship. Got her a little close to the mound, to the home plate, don't they?
6 feet, 8 feet.
Yeah.
Underhand.
Oh.
Oh, Sister Jean. All right.
Oh, Jean.
Jean's having a hell of a time.
She
isn't
seems proud of herself. I don't know what she's smiling about. That is absolutely pathetic. I don't care how old you are.
So far out of the strike zone.
Oh, not even close. People were doing memes yesterday or GIFs, whatever. And so they'd have Gene do the pitch, and then it would immediately pop to some guy just fucking smoking the ball, upper deck home run shots, as if everybody was going yard off Sister Jean. I was just like, you've got a noodle arm, Gene.
She's getting a pretty good last lap, isn't she?
Yeah,
98 years old.
I suppose, but I don't know. I want to throw her the first pitch. They've got her literally 6 feet from home plate in a wheelchair.
Would you want to do that?
Throw
At a Tiger game?
Yeah.
Would
Hell
you?
yeah.
It's a lot of pressure to me. It's a big no-win situation
Yeah.
in a way. Like,
I
unless
know.
you're just...
I agree.
I mean, there's so much that can go wrong.
Really?
And if you
You'd
do
be
it
worried
right,
you
then
couldn't-
it's just kind of like, okay, whatever.
It's a lot of pressure, and I guarantee you, once you get out there, it would hit you.
Yeah,
And
probably.
you'd start doubting yourself. Like, fuck, man.
Well, dude, there's so much that can go wrong, and so little... Like, okay, you throw it perfect. and
Throw
it's
some
kinda
heat,
like,
dude. If you rock a 78-mile-an-hour pitch down the middle, you'd go down in history, right?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think that would be that hard. You're probably right that the pressure would be there, but I don't think it. I think you could go up there and throw, maybe not right down the middle, but close enough. You're not going to one hop onto the plate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're not
I think
going
you
to.
probably wouldn't. I agree with you.
You're not
But
going to 50 Cent it. You're not going to Baba Booey
you
it.
say that, though, but again, I just think you never know in that
Really?
moment. I'm just saying there's a lot that can go wrong and very little that can go right.
I think he's exactly right on that.
It's-
I'd probably turn it down, honestly. Like, I don't have any desire to do that.
Really?
I would do it, but I would say that I would go in.
Remember how
thinking, like,
mad you made Drew? Drew threw out the first pitch at a game, and he actually brought some heat, and it was, I don't know, it was a little inside or
you were
something.
you were a cocksucker. That's what happened. Mike told, but what happens is Mike. It was fine, but Mike tells me like, "Hey man, we're gonna do a little audio. We're all gonna record a little audio, and like as if it was people just giving audio." So I thought that it would be funny, and he's like, "Oh, we're all gonna do it. Don't worry." So I thought it would be funny, like you would
To criticize
to
it?
criticize. I don't think.
I was
the
like,
funny
just be
thing-
honest. We're gonna get random fans around the stadium. Hey, how did you think Drew did with his first pitch? And we only got audio from one individual.
Jesus.
So I thought it would be funny rather than me just going, "Yeah, it was great." To
What
be
did
like-
you say? Do you remember
Dude,
what you
I was
said?
like, I basically said like, well, he didn't go from the mound, so right away that was kind of iffy to me. And then I kind of think I said it was basically it was okay, but I think I referenced like I think my grandpa could do just as good or something.
Yeah, he said
Papa?
he said, and they won't let you go from the mound unless you're like an
Really?
A-list celebrity. Yeah, they want you off the fucking mound, so you just stand right in front of it.
So they don't have to re-rake it and everything.
Exactly. And so he was just like, it was all right. I mean, his pitch was okay. I've seen
Thought
better.
that would be the funny play. I didn't think the funny
And then
play.
he said something like, I thought he played baseball in college. I thought he would do. I expected more. And Drew was like fucking pissed, man. On the air, he
I
was
was
like,
new as an intern too. I
he
was not like
Who
established.
is this kid? Who is this moron? This idiot? And he's in the other room like, I don't know, what did I do wrong? And they're like, I don't know. I don't know.
Fucking asshole.
I don't know. I just wouldn't think that'd be that hard to do, but who knows? God, I was shocked yesterday, Jay, when I was reading about. I saw Grand Theft Auto 5 trending, which is a game I have upstairs. I think your boys have played it over here before, and that game came out years ago, 2014 or something, and they say that game has now sold. Has made more money than any media ever produced. Movie, book, music, anything. Star Wars. It's made more than Titanic and Star Wars combined.
Huh.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Yeah.
Think about it.
I would have never guessed that.
GTA 5, okay, it launched in 2013, has sold 90 million units, putting its total haul for the maker of the game, which is, I think, Rockstar Games, and then their publisher, Take-Two Interactive, $6 billion, far above the success of movies like Star Wars or Gone with the Wind, which collected about $3 billion, and that's adjusted for inflation.
How much do those games cost?
$50.
Yeah, so comparing that to what a regular DVD of how much?
Yeah,
so you can
$15.
You can sell half as many and still beat it.
Yeah, but still, you would just think that there's books out there that have, books are more expensive. You would think there was something out there. I mean, you're reading the classics now in your book club. What are some of the ones you read that you would think would be way up there?
Right. I mean, yeah, you'd think like Moby Dick would have sold.
Yeah.
Sold Grand Theft Auto.
Does that include the Bible? The Bible has to have sold.
Yeah, I don't read what the parameters of this are again, because I feel like I've always heard like the Bible has been the highest selling book
since its
launch.
You're
just talking about media.
Yeah, it sold 90 million units, putting its total haul in the neighborhood of $6 billion, far above the success of blockbusters like Star Wars or Gone with the Wind, which both had about $3 billion adjusted for inflation.
Even the cost per game is so much higher than the cost per Bible or the cost per DVD, right? That's the difference.
I guess, but I would think the Bible sold 6 billion copies through time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They don't mention it. They said the Mario franchise has sold more units in total, but no single Mario game, each one on their own has come close to collecting $6 billion. It continues to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue more than 4 years after its launch. It was the sixth best-selling video game in the U.S. just last year. They say it's got great graphics. Fidelity can only go so far, though. It comes down to content, and they've created such a vast world people can continually reinvest in. They create characters and become like second lives to them. It's one of the most violent games you'll ever see. I mean, rife with critics saying it's racially offensive language, sexual content that is misogyny towards women. There's a grisly torture sequence. The game has a high body count, to put it mildly. It's possible to kidnap and murder sex workers. You get BJs in the car, too. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, these things are going to be or are being monetized in a different way, I think, and I don't know how widespread this is, but Fortnite is the big one right now that all the kids are playing and have been for about 6 months. It's huge.
Really?
Like everybody plays Fortnite, and that I believe is free to download, and the way they make their money is just upgrades.
Oh,
They pay
in-game,
for
yeah,
packages.
in-game
So
purchases.
it's just a different way that these things are being monetized now.
Sure.
And I would expect, given that there's so many users of the thing, that it will approach the same kind of proceed it would if you were going to the store to buy it. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Fortnite, what is that? Is that like a war game or a
you
first-person shooter game?
It's first-person shooter. But you can join a group, and you basically try to be the last man standing on an island. And you've got guns and shit, and so you can play 1 on 99. Every man for himself, or you can play in a group.
So it's totally internet. You could be playing with some kid in Japan on your team, and I stink so bad at those first-person shooting. I just shoot at the ground and the sky.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. I
shoot
can't
other people.
I can't get control of my shit, dude. Like I try, and I'm like, okay, there he is. I line him up, and I'm like, straight up in the air, and then straight down to the ground.
You can understand why the Uzi girl shot the instructor.
Yes, I can. I'm better with an actual Uzi than I am with an Uzi in a video game. I just stink it, and I get mad, frustrated, and then I stop playing. And then I watch your boys come over and just fucking slaughter people. I get so jealous. I was watching Russell play, and it was like, dude, he's money.
Yeah, he probably plays too much.
He's running and sliding and shooting at the same time and just murdering and slaughtering. So yeah, they say the success for this, the question for investors is whether the publisher is going to replicate it in a new game, get anywhere close to this. And a lot of people are like, yeah, no, probably not. That Michael Jackson put out a lot of albums, but there was only one Thriller. But I don't know why why
That version, that edition.
Yeah,
I don't-
number
I-
5.
I don't
would
know
be-
anything about it. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
I don't know. And then, how about our boy? Why don't we take a break? Actually, we'll come back and talk about T.J. Miller.
God,
Funny guy.
Hilarious.
Funny guy. I guess he's still doing. He's still touring, doing the comedy thing right now. And
Good.
I just feel bad for the people. Did they not have HBO? Where he must be touring in cities where HBO is not available.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I would have absolutely gone and seen him had I not seen him on HBO.
Really?
Yeah, I would have gone and seen T.J. Miller just based on Silicon
Yeah, I
Valley.
probably would too. I mean, I watched the HBO thing based on
And
Silicon Valley.
We wanted to be fans. We were big fans of the
Or
character.
like Bachman.
Yes. Have you been watching?
Yeah, I'm not caught up yet. This is
Oh,
someone tell me.
dude, it's getting really good. It really is. Silicon Valley, it's good stuff. So we'll come back and give you an update on T.J. Miller and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, I'm Mike, and I'll file with Kyle.
I'm Jay, and I'll file with Kyle.
I'm Big E, and I guess Kyle can do my taxes too.
No, you fucking tard. It's supposed to rhyme. I'll file with Kyle.
Oh yeah, I'm Big E, and I'll file with Kyle.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kyle Mayer, and hopefully this tax season you'll join our podcast heroes in saying I'll file with Kyle. The Detroit Cast is good at what they do, and I'm good at what I do. Call 248-521-0016 and say I'll file with Kyle, and I'll take 10% off your tax prep bill. Actually, you can say anything TDC related to get 10% off. Like Big E, Stamberta, Dirtface, Nana, or whatever. Just make sure you call me at 248-521-0016.
bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Even Biggie is here. Oh, I have to tell you something rather embarrassing.
Sweet. What?
Don't want to tell you, though. Something I did last night.
What'd you do, Mike?
Well, Ray says hello.
My man, Ray.
I was out of gas. I filled up a couple months ago, and so it was time again to fill up. You know, I hate that. Oh, the amount of gas I go through. It's unbelievable. So I went up to the gas station, and I loaded the handle into the gas part, and I just set it to do its thing. And I went in, and Ray's there, and talking to Ray for a while. And
You didn't start one of those fiery gas station infernos, did you?
No.
You and your cigarette and your
No.
gas? No.
Thank you for that. No. So I go in, I'm talking to Ray for a while, and this and that, and he's, how's Jay? I'm like, he's dead still. He's dead. You can stop asking how Jay is. He's exactly as he was 2 days ago
My
when
man,
I saw you.
Ray.
He's got the same laugh he had from second grade. I know, Ray. I know he does. I got to come in there and mix it up with you. I know, Ray. Lifelong dream. I know, Ray. You're too racist. You can't come in here. I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm mixing up with Ray. We do our fist bump, and I'm on my way, hop in my car, and start pulling out. And you just hear this. Sounds like someone got run over. And the gas station's pretty full at this point. As everyone turns, and I look, and I see Ray in the window, and he's just doing that. He's just flipping me off. Yeah, I forgot to take the gas handle out of the car and hang it back on where it goes. And so,
What kind of damage did that do to your car and or the pump?
car was fine.
Pump not good.
The thing flew and wrapped all the way around the thing, and it took, Ray's got these beautiful, things that are mounted, and they've got little flyers.
Yeah, sure. We've all
stuff.
seen them.
Yeah. There's
Little
one
credit card brochures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the pumps doesn't have that anymore. So if you're looking for that at Ray's store down the street, the other pump should have it still, but the one in the middle doesn't have that anymore.
Dude.
It was in the middle of the parking lot.
Oh, man.
Where it landed, and everyone's looking at me, and Ray's flipping me off.
I'm just glad everyone's okay, Mike.
Yeah. I felt like such an asshole. Dude, that almost happened to me a couple months ago, where I got in my car and I was like, oh shit, that handle's probably still in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time that I've ever actually.
Probably is. Nobody took it out for me.
Yeah. It's the first time, though, that I've ever driven off with one of
Wow,
those still
man.
stuck in the car. Yeah.
Dude, thank God they started
Fucking old people, huh?
I was gonna say on new cars. I don't have a new car. I know on new cars they don't even have the fucking caps anymore. It's just like you just place it in. But
Yeah.
even on mine, it has the tie. But back in the day, when they didn't you had to actually unscrew it and set it down.
Oh, yeah. People
I
are
ran
losing their gas
fucking-
caps all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many fucking times I drove away without putting that damn gas cap on. Dude.
Really?
Yes.
See, I've never
several
done
times.
that.
Dude, he who loses his phone and or
Yeah, I
wallet
know,
every
I
week.
know.
Shocked
is
by
that
that.
But
surprising?
it's right there, and you have to take the thing out and hang it back up. I mean, he's looking right at it. You would think it would just be an automatic.
It's eases, Miguel.
You know,
Please.
my problem was I went inside and talked to Ray for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
Forgot why you were
Which
even
is
there.
illegal, as
Totally.
Jay mentioned earlier.
Why is that illegal? To
Yeah,
You're-
you're
you're-
supposed to
You can't leave your pump while your
Well,
car.
I left my pump.
I know.
You call the police on me.
supposed to supervise it.
Yeah.
I do, but
So yeah, I felt like quite the asshole last night. It's
Well
really
deserved,
embarrassing.
Mike. I mean, that's
I can't tell you the shame
what
and
is that
embarrassment you
feeling?
feel.
That feeling like when people are looking at you and you're just like you have to acknowledge
because you're
that
just a moron,
Right.
Like who does that?
Mike. You know the next step, right? You're driving through a restaurant window.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I should probably get my driver's test.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go like
That's
every
the next
year
move.
now.
You're hopping a curb and you're breaking through a restaurant front window.
Dude, I'll tell you what. It was like a week ago. I hit the gas and I wanted to hit the brake, and then I hit the gas again.
Here we go.
And then I was like, oh wait, no, and then I broke. It was like, that's what old people do.
Yeah,
that's what
dude.
like 90-year-olds do. They confuse the brake of the gas. Yeah.
Holy shit!
I'm
man.
not on the road that often though, so it's like I'm a new driver again. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, I know. Well, it could be worse. I could be T.J. Miller. What is going on with this fucking guy?
Bomb threat, man.
Dude, he is this is not going to end well
Yeah.
for T.J. Miller. I mean, those reports of like
Sexual assault.
yeah, jamming a bottle in some chick's ass for anal the first time, not saying anything to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a move you can pull. It's just not a courteous move, anyways. I mean, dude, I love jamming a bottle in a girl's asshole as much as the next guy, but you get permission first. You don't just go willy nilly jamming bottles in buttholes.
I would think, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he got the story goes that he got so mad when a chick rebuffed his flirting. It sounds
Another
like
passenger on an Amtrak train.
exactly, and that he made a bogus 911 call saying she had a bomb in her bag, and it prompted a massive police response. Of course, hours of delays landed him in federal custody. Charges could carry up to 5 years for that. It started as soon as Miller got on the Amtrak train. It was the number 2258 in D.C., and that's the only reason I give you the number is because he didn't know what train number he was on, so he gave the wrong train number, which made them stop another train.
Oh, my God, what an asshole.
Yeah. This happened in Washington, D.C. on March 18th. A worker on the train said he looked tipsy as he took his seat in first class and continued to drink. He had 2 glasses of wine, 2 double scotch and sodas, and then he starts flirting with his chick, and she's not having it, and she's just kind of glaring at him. And he's like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" You can imagine him being a belligerent, drunk asshole. Miller directed a comment at her about her hair. The comment was unwelcome. And she turned to look at Miller in a non-friendly manner, and that's when he barked. "What are you looking at?" At some point, they say this started a screaming match. He denies that, but, you know. Miller, they say, motivated by a grudge now over the hair comment and the non-welcome look and whatnot. That's when he called 911 and reported that there was a bomb in her bag. He gave the 911 dispatcher, as I said, the incorrect train number, prompting police to stop the wrong locomotive.
Dude.
Bomb squad finds no device, but massive delays were caused. When they called Miller's phone, he was no longer on the train because he'd been kicked off in New York for being too drunk. And so he still maintained, however, that there was a woman with a bomb, telling cops she kept checking her bag without taking anything out. "I'm worried for everyone on that train. Someone has to check that lady out."
Boy, what a conclusion.
Right.
Someone's reaching down to their bag.
Investigators then searched the train Miller had been on, found no explosives. They arrested him on Monday night as he arrived at LaGuardia from Canada. He was charged with intentionally conveying to law enforcement false information about an explosive device on a train. And reports are that that's the real reason why he's not on season 5 of Silicon Valley.
Belligerent drunk.
Drugs and alcohol are becoming more and more of a problem with him. He says that's bullshit, but a lot of the reports are saying that was the issue for him. But
Well, there was certainly no love lost in the few comments that I think Mike Judge and the other guy, the other creator, gave concerning
Alec
him.
Berg.
Yeah, concerning why he wasn't present in this season. And sounded like, to the extent TJ was trying to tell it as, oh, it's me, my career's kind of blowing up, I want to go in different directions. They're like, oh, have fun with that, man.
yeah, good luck.
See ya.
God, what a dickhead. Well, it was laid out nicely for him because his character had run its course. Like it was feeling like that towards, especially season 4, where it was like, you're forcing this character to be involved in shit that he really doesn't need to be involved with. So he could have just taken the high road, shut his mouth, and said, yeah, the character had run its course on to new things. And those guys probably would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
Just fine, but he's made shitty comments about them, and so they finally slapped back at him a little bit, and now you're hearing all the drugs and alcohol stuff coming out. But
Yeah, anyone who wants a glimpse into this dude, watch 10 minutes of that HBO special, TJ Miller.
that's hard.
It is
What about
brutal.
5 minutes?
Okay, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll get
10 is rough.
nice glimpse. Hamlin Pubs, everybody, they're inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. Don't forget that April is #DrinkHamlin month.
Yeah.
So if you're over there eating, drinking, whatever, take a picture and hashtag it DrinkHamlin, and you will be entered into a drawing at the end of the month for very valuable prizes.
Absolutely. #DrinkHamlin, and we'll draw a winner at the end of the month. I know you saw this story of Sam Barsky
This guy's something.
out of
man.
Maryland. He's one of these guys that knits his own sweaters. He's been doing it since 1999, and
But he theme dresses, man.
Yeah.
He goes to landmarks all over the country or world, and he has a sweater that corresponds with the landmark.
yeah, I like the ice skating one.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
You know, he's knit like ice skaters
Rockefeller
on ice.
Center.
Yeah, and he's wearing it. He's taking a selfie with ice skaters behind him.
He's so goofy looking, though.
Yeah.
Did you see his wife or girlfriend with him, too?
No,
She's just as goofy looking.
she a looker.
No, they're just lovable nerds, you know.
Yeah,
Look
I
like
think
just-
she's looking at her just now. I think she's
He overshot?
Overshot,
You
I
think?
think.
I think they're perfect for each other. Look at him. Look at her squinting.
Yeah.
He's got a fanny pack on.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
I think she is way hotter than I would expect that dude to be with.
Is he at Niagara Falls, and is that a
Yes.
Niagara Falls
It certainly
sweater?
is.
Hell yes, it is. He's
Look,
knitted
his
Niagara
hair
Falls.
alone. She's
Pull up
hotter
another
than-
picture of her with him. I saw
Okay.
some others where I was like, they're perfect together.
Speaking of hot chicks, did you guys catch Andre the Giant's daughter?
Smoking. Definitely not eating any feelings away there from her dad that pretty much abandoned her.
How about that? How about that notion that they hit like, oh yeah, Andre was the women. The women loved Andre.
Yeah.
They didn't dwell very long on that
No.
because I think most people found that pretty implausible.
Yeah.
But they did mention that oh yeah, I mean, look at his ring size, look at his shoe size. What do you
I
think?
would.
Dude,
would
look
guess
at
that he
this
would get-
guy, Sam, and his girlfriend.
think
Is that his name, Sam?
Yeah, Samuel.
Look at these two. They're perfect.
Oh, yeah, they are. She's kind of homely.
Yeah.
I stand by my statement. I think she's hotter than he
So,
deserves.
so would you look at her tan line where her dress usually hangs down
Totally.
above her knees?
Yeah, they're both wearing sneakers, black sneakers with
Yeah.
white socks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just out here with Samuel.
I'm not saying she's hot. I just think she's hotter than.
Would you?
Yeah, I guess I probably would.
What about her?
You need a fucking on that.
So yeah, he draws freehand on these sweaters. He draws what he sees, and it started with a bridge in London. I think it was
Tower Bridge.
yeah, London's Tower Bridge, and so he draws it on there, and then he's able to knit. And is his knitting strong?
It's really not. That's
Yeah.
kind of what's lovable about it too. Is it's
Yeah.
kind of bad, and they come out really cheesy looking.
Yeah, it's like ugly sweater contest.
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean?
he,
Like
he obviously spends a ton of time doing it, and then he wears them in front of these. But they're Stonehenge.
I got it. You know what?
That might be my favorite, man.
dude, look at
And then look at the Golden
the
Gate.
Golden Gate. He actually makes up the. It looks like he's part of the Golden Gate
Yeah.
Bridge. That's hilarious.
I think for this guy, it's not a bad move. It gets him something. He needs something in
It's
his life.
fucking
and-
cool. What do you know about this guy? How can you just declare that this guy's otherwise worthless?
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
don't-
one
he could be
might
a-
conclude that after some investigation, but why do you just jump to that conclusion?
He could be a rocket scientist for all
He
you.
probably is. Look at him.
Yeah. What is that?
Accounting is in his background, very likely.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think that sweater matches very well. He needs to start over. That's
You
a
have to
very
know
busy sweater.
What is that, Isis?
You know what? I don't actually know. I just pulling up.
Is that the
ones.
mall in Washington D.C.? I think
where the fuck
that
did
might
that
be
one
what it
come
is.
Really?
Yes, he's at Lincoln Monument. It's in front of him, I think, and he's looking down toward the
Okay.
mall.
All right.
And so that expression on his sweater is the mall. Unbelievable.
Hilarious. He started sharing his love of homemade sweaters online in 2013, and then he discovered, wow, there's a bunch of other nerds on Facebook. They have like groups and everything, even for knitters. And so he found like a whole crew of douches out there, just like him. And then, he started routinely going to these landmark sites wearing his sweater.
It's friggin' sweet.
And
I love
posting,
it.
and people love him. He's getting shitloads
Is he
of
on
hits.
Instagram? I'm going to follow this guy.
He's got 26,000 followers on Instagram now.
26,001.
That's right. Yeah, I saw a picture of London's Tower Bridge, and I thought it would make a great sweater. I wonder how many people have ever uttered that statement. Man, I saw a picture of it. I was like, that'd make a great sweater.
That's absurd. There's his girlfriend. Look at her squinting.
Yeah. Gotta go.
They're always
I will
looking
say
right
that.
into the
Can
sun,
she-
squinting.
Is it possible for her not to squint? That's the only thing I would like
maybe
to
she
see.
just has that rat face.
Yeah. Is it possible she's kind of got a fucking jammin' bod, though? I mean,
She's
the
got
titties
titties.
don't look
It's the
bad.
titties.
Yeah. I mean, her tan line.
She does not have a
stink.
jammin' body.
Well,
that is not possible, Mike.
I'm looking at the hourglass figure right there. You know, E.
I already told you
To
what I
me,
thought.
a lot depends on the nipples. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah,
because
but
at best you're dealing with a good set of titties, but dude, they could be just some nasty, just frying
now,
pan
why
nipples.
would you go there? Why would you just assume that she's got a sweet set of jugs and then terrible nips?
I'm saying a lot depends on that.
Well, obviously, a lot depends on that. But why would you
Because that's
just
all she has. She has a bosom. Now, how
You know,
good
you
that
just
bosom
yelled
is
at
depends
E.
on the nip style.
You just yelled at E for saying that
That's
all he
she
has is
physically.
sweaters.
That's all she has
You
physically.
don't know
you're,
that.
You're talking jam and body, and I'm saying, yeah, she's got a pair of titties probably.
Yeah, her knees
But
stink. Her knees stink.
Her nips could be facing down for all we know.
Do they ever wear shorts or
These two are awesome. I love them as a pair.
Does he have a soul patch there, or is that a shadow?
Probably a shadow.
I mean, he's not cool enough to pull
can't
off a
imagine.
soul patch, is he? Jesus, can you get in there and see?
So what is that? Like a famous Las Vegas pool or something?
Yeah.
Like Mandalay Bay or some shit?
It sure looks like it.
Fucking awesome.
He's made a total of 119 sweaters so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a shadow.
It's a career for me now. I've made a career out of knitting events.
A career.
Career out of knitting events.
Good for him, man. He saw
Yeah.
a market need and he filled it.
Here's the problem, though. This guy is made for morning news shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the water skiing squirrel.
Yeah, and knitting sweater guy coming up.
Oh, you're
and
right.
so we might get inundated with him because
I'm planning in the future to have them mass produced. I'm going to write books on the topic and a lot more.
and
So
that's
he's going to
just-
go as Ken Bone did.
Yeah.
All the rage for a moment in his red cable knit sweater.
Yeah. And he's going to, I see them already on, I can see Fox 2 News right now with a table set up and neatly folded sweaters. Ooh.
Sam, tell us about this one.
What about this one, Samuel?
Well, I mean, he could do. The thing is, though, on one hand, the possibilities are endless. He could go. He could do a tour of the baseball. You see him here.
That
You're
son
right.
of a bitch is at Camden Yards.
Right, so he
isn't
could do
Hell
a tour
yeah,
of
he
every
is.
baseball stadium. He could go to Comerica Park and Wrigley Field, and then
I don't get tired of this guy.
I
Look
don't,
at him.
I don't yet either. Yet
Yeah.
is key, though, Jay. Depends what kind of personality he has, too. I think the dorkier he is, the better
For
for him.
sure.
If he's got any sort of ego at all, I'm going to hate him.
A little bit could be good. A little bit. Because you could go,
smidge.
really? That son of a bitch standing there in a Camden Yards sweater is going to come that
Look at
strong?
this.
Yeah,
Jerusalem.
That could be entertaining, Mike.
Jerusalem.
Dude, it's the Wailing Wall. Look at him. I love this guy.
Yeah. What? They're all short sleeve sweaters, too.
That's okay.
I mean,
You know how long it takes
I've
to-
never seen a short sleeve sweater before.
Dude, he's under the gun, man. He's like, I'm going to Israel. I gotta
Oh, is
gotta
that what it
crank out
is?
a
Yeah.
Wailing Wall.
Takes him another few hours to do full
Like a
sleeves.
few weeks.
Yeah.
Times Square. I can't get over there. How many places has this guy been, dude?
Look at this guy.
Oh my God.
I'm jealous of him just because of the things he's seen. I just want to go to these places.
You should be jealous of him because this guy is pulling puss.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
And she
That
sure has got
guy,
sweet
even
titties.
that guy, is pulling puss.
Yep.
That doesn't bother as much as the as many places as he's been. That bothers me.
Can you find a nude video of her anywhere, E, or something?
Bikini, anything.
I'm hung up on these nips now. Jay has brought up an interesting potential problem that I hadn't thought of yet. So
It could be a huge saving grace or, nail in the
Yeah.
coffin.
Sure. Anyway, well, once he starts mass producing, we're gonna place an order.
Well, I think we've come to the end of the ugly sweater Christmas thing, haven't we? Has that been played out? That's been going on a good 10 years
Still
now.
going.
It's
It's still going every year.
But aren't we to the point now where it's like, okay, everyone has done that. Everybody has
Well,
one
plus
of those.
every year now,
It's
everybody
just not-
Blink-182 has an ugly sweater.
Yeah,
The
it's not-
Tigers have an ugly sweater.
Yeah.
Notable anymore or at all remarkable. Like, oh, look at that one.
Yeah.
Nobody even
Mine
fucking
was pretty
cares.
sweet.
Nobody cares anymore is the point. So I think he might be 10 years too late, 8 years too late.
You think so? I think this is a different level, though, than just standard ugly sweaters, because those were very, very holiday specific. I mean,
I don't know that it warrants ugly sweaters aside from just a brief, 3 to 4 week period during the holidays.
Yeah, but this stuff comes full circle, and we have not had the Cosby sweater phase come back in. I mean, this guy could be ushering in a new era.
Those were supposed to be badass, though. What were those called again?
The Cosby sweaters?
Yeah. Coogee or something,
Oh yeah.
right?
I don't know. I've got a couple high school or junior high
I totally
school
forget what they're
pictures.
called.
Yeah. But things come back around. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if this guy ushered in.
It's normcore as fuck. So there are going to be some hipsters who do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
come on. I'd
Totally
rather just
right.
see him do it. Don't mass produce him. Just keep doing what you do with your girl. Look
Yeah.
at his girl.
Oh my God, he knitted
He's
her
got
a dress.
giraffes.
Yep, at the zoo, checking out Fook Fosses.
Look at that. He knitted her a dress.
And of course he has a fanny pack. That's so badass. I
Yeah.
love this guy.
Yeah.
Look at his out of control back hair.
Yeah.
It's coming up to
Yeah.
the line of his own hair.
And his girl doesn't give a shit. She's never been like, Sam, sit down. Let me just hit that with the razor really quick. Clean
Because
that up
she's
a
got
bit.
her own issues. She's
Yeah.
probably got hairy nipples. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, that bush is fine. You know what I mean?
Skiing.
I don't imagine a landing strip. You know what I mean? Like that's
I don't
no.
imagine a lightning bolt or anything like that. No.
No.
That shit is billowing.
Well, let's keep tabs on Sam. And listeners, if you see anything on Sam when he starts mass producing, please let us know in case we miss it. Should we get to some email, Jay?
Sure. Before we do that, remind you again, Amazon, please use our affiliate links. Amazon is above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click on it, shop away, doesn't cost you more. The key is, however, that you click through our Amazon link. It's a great way to help the show.
Yes.
Now, if you'd like to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com. It's the perfect way to take part, as Bone Job would like to do today.
Really?
Dear Eric, I am sorry all this time I thought I was poking fun at and having fun at the expense of the lesser than member of the podcast team. I've recently come to the conclusion that you are actually retarded. Not in the funny way that I used to believe. I mean, you are actually 100% fucking retarded, which makes all the mean things I've said about you really mean. You're still a huge detriment to the show and hold it back from being more successful. However, I now know that I have to let you be. With love, Bone Job. Bone Job, this is not your call. This is not your call.
Yeah.
This has huge repercussions. This
For you and I
postures
especially.
us as monsters.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
to suggest that we've been picking on a retarded kid for
Oh.
4 years,
It's
uncouth,
why we
Bone Job,
it's-
uncouth.
it's-
It's why we haven't had a real test done.
It's why we halted the test that we had planned, because Jay went, wait a minute, when he's declared semi to fully retarded, we're going to look like total dick faces
Absolute
now.
dick faces.
Now we're bullying. Now
Yeah.
we're picking on a retarded kid.
Yeah, we
Not
want to
cool.
avoid that conclusion.
And so we still have a sliver of like, I don't know, officially been diagnosed. I mean,
How many places this guy fucking been? He's
Oh,
literally been all
look at-
around the world, dude.
See
He's
what I-
literally been all around the world. Like, I want to know where he's getting his money. That's what I want to know.
yeah, God love him. You know
He's
what I mean?
retarded and
I
deaf.
mean, here's two fucking ones from Vegas alone.
Jesus, do you have any response to the
No, I don't.
retarded allegation?
I don't really care.
Did that stem from anything? Was there an incident recently,
I
or
think
was
it's
maybe
just-
losing his phone and?
Yeah, who knows? Any myriad of stories, situations. Brad writes in, he would like to be put under the clock. He has a grievance, so I will
right.
find the clock immediately and put him under here. Brad says, Hola, Fukfases, a grievance has found me. Start the fucking clock. Wow.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
Coming strong.
So, this happened to me twice today while taking the kiddos to school.
I already don't
You stop
like him.
at a stop sign in a residential area preparing to turn left. Since another car is heading toward you from the left, you wait for them to drive past. But wait! Said driver had no intention of driving past and instead turns right at the same intersection you are stopped at. Is it too much to ask for a goddamn courtesy blinker? Oh, and if you drive a red Ford Escape and have had a guy flip you off and call you stupid fucking cunt this morning, I apologize. I'm sure you're a lovely person. Maybe a wee bit rude, but lovely nonetheless. You know, I
Feel
don't
like-
think that we usually assert or rule on driving-related grievances. I think they're too numerous.
Yep.
I think you did that a couple times. I'm sure we all have in the past
Yeah.
said something, and I think we concluded, you know what, this is too easy. Like every time you go out on the road, a
There's a
grievance
dick
can
face
file.
I had
out
someone
there.
not give me the wave the other day, despite the fact that I let him into a very busy situation.
Yeah, I don't know
So the
that.
point is,
I
like-
don't know that a grievance has found
Right,
you. I think
I-
that's just a driving
I know, that's-
situation.
Yeah. Not every time someone's just a prick is it worthy of a grievance.
Yeah, so we find ourselves
I
in
feel
a
like we've
unique situation, Brad.
Heard that one about turning traffic.
You did that one
Yeah.
a long time ago.
So is Brad stealing grievances? And the fact that he said kiddos really.
A grievance found me.
Yeah.
I hate that term.
Yeah.
Well, what do we do with the kiddos?
I hate any term that is not just my kids, essentially.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Any kind of cute phrasing you
How
want
old
to
are the kiddos now?
Oh.
36 months.
The youngins.
36 months.
That used to bug the fuck out of me. I used to have a joke about that.
The kiddos, 36 months old.
Anything past a year, it's done.
It's such an indictment of your whiteness, isn't it? Like your middle-aged whiteness.
Yeah, it's a very white thing.
Kiddos.
So,
Brad, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Check your
I think
privilege.
to the extent you have grieved, to the
Yeah.
extent a grievance has found you, it's stolen, man.
yeah. And he needs to just unwhiten a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not
Terms
willing
like
to say that
kiddos.
it was a real grievance, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to just give him a pass and say that didn't happen. Kind of live life, try again.
I feel like I want to grade him somehow just to slap him for the kiddos comment. You know?
Yeah. I think we've done that.
Okay.
I think we've done that.
Taking the kiddos to school. Ugh.
Aaron writes in, Dear well-plumbed, rotund, and overgummed. Gentlemen, a grievance has found me. Eric, before you render judgment, I just wanted to point out that I emailed back in December saying how your history lessons were making America great again and referenced your Horatio Nelson Jackson lesson. King, I did call you well-plumbed. Cult leader, I trust in you, and I am sure that you will be fair and just in your ruling.
Always am.
Start the clock, says Aaron. People who stop and have conversations in the middle of the sidewalk, grocery aisle, store entrance, or anywhere else that has physical limitations. Stolen?
I was going to say, isn't
Spatial awareness?
I feel like we've...
Aaron continues, before you declare this stolen based on the king's grievance of lack of spatial awareness, I will argue that it is different. These dickbags know where they are and that they are in the damn way. They just don't fucking care. They think that they're the most important person in the room because their parents always told them they were special and smart and could do anything. Sometimes kids need to be told they are dickheads. That way we wouldn't end up with all these adults who think they are important and special. Dude, I think it's
do
just
that by walking right through them. That's what that's what I'll do sometimes.
While stating Red Rover, Red Rover. Just walk right through it.
Is this a guy, Aaron, or a
It's a guy, Aaron.
It is. Okay, that hurts.
And I have a grievance based on who Aaron is, and I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay. God, you know, I feel like we've had this. We've talked about people in airports stopping.
Yeah,
in the
spatial
middle.
awareness issues.
Yeah.
I think generally stated that's what it is.
And grocery stores are troubling, and we've talked about that too.
I suppose the wrinkle is that these two people are conversing, and they're like, yeah, fuck everybody around me. I'm taking up the space, whereas my spatial awareness grievance and the airport grievance was more just single person or family stopping in the middle.
Mhm.
Not to talk, but just lack of fucking awareness, right?
Right.
And making everybody kind of do a
It's still
quick,
too,
quick right or left.
Touch too close for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, I am as well.
I don't know what to do with it.
I think we pass on this one as well. Say good luck. Thanks for trying.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that we won't read your future grievances.
Do we declare that a grievance simply had not found Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop forcing grievances, people. You'll know when they find you. You'll know.
Now, here's my grievance generally with Aaron. Look at Aaron's. Why have we not been offered accommodations? Look at his signature block. This son of a bitch.
Whoa. The Ritz-Carlton
Yeah.
in Naples?
Yeah.
What?
And what is
Event coordinator?
On Vanderbilt Beach Road? Dude,
What?
Why? He doesn't like us. He doesn't like us.
Very clear.
Why he has not flown us down as a team and put us up in the Ritz-Carlton for a week, I'll never know.
He's using us as a grievance receptacle and
Yeah.
nothing more.
I tell you what, though, if he were to put us up for a week at the Ritz-Carlton, I would have found this grievance.
I'd rule on that grievance.
Yeah, I would as well, and I think he would like my ruling.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Aaron.
Son of a bitch is right.
Let's save the rest for
How
tomorrow.
many other
People,
selfish fucking listeners
It
do we
makes you
have
wonder,
out there?
doesn't it? It begs the question.
It does beg the question.
It begs the question.
You know, I see some guy's header like John Smith, you know, owner operator of private jet
Yeah.
services. And you're like,
Ferrari
what?
Incorporated.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? Holy shit, selfish. Selfish. It's unbelievable.
Save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
Very good. All right, let's get out of here. We've got to go to that premiere tonight.
Well, yeah.
We'll give you an update on the Russian 5 documentary. I think it's going to be fantastic. So
Finally, accommodations to which we're accustomed.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. So we'll give you an update on that tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join us then.
been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Hey, TDC.